Howdy, Creekwatchers. Ready to figure out your water measurements? Let's check in with Beth and see how it's done.
So we're at a shallow water site, and the water came up to the first bright zip tie, which is 1/2 meter or 0.5. The black zip ties are at 0.1 meter. So we're going to round it to 1/2 meter. And because this is a shallow water site, this is the only measurement where we are going to divide it in half. At other depths that are at least 0.6, we make our calculations differently, which we'll cover in just a minute. But here at the shallow water site, we divide it into half. 0.5 divided by 2 gives us 0.25, and we're going to round that to 0.3. That means we need to take our DO meter depth profile measurements and get our water samples at 0.3 meters. We're going to record that on both the site sample data sheet, where we put information about our water samples, and also on the water quality data sheet. At this location, it's a more typical site for what we see. Here, our total water depth is just under 2 meters. So we came in at 1.9 meters. This means that we're going to take both a surface water measurement at 1/2 meter deep, or 0.5, and we're also going to take a bottom water measurement 1 meter above the bottom. And what we do to calculate that depth is we simply subtract 1 from the total water depth. The total water depth, if we recall, it was 1.9 meters. We subtract 1 from that. That leaves us with 0.9 meters. So we record that only on the water quality data sheet, where we see our bottom measurements in our depth profile area. If our total water depth is somewhere between 0.6 all the way up to 1.5 meters, then we're only going to take a surface water measurement, and we're going to do that at the 1/2 meter mark. This will be both our depth where we take our water samples and our surface DO water measurements. We do have some sites that are deep water sites, and what that means is that the total water depth is at least 3 meters deep. If this is the case, then you're not only going to take a surface measurement, a bottom measurement, but you're also going to take measurements at 1 meter increments at any point where you know the probe is not going to hit the bottom. Here in Vienna, we just measured a 4 meter total water depth. So what that means is we're going to take our surface measurement at 1/2 meter or 0.5 meters deep. Our bottom measurement, we're going to subtract 1 from 4. That brings us to 3. And then we're also going to take measurements at the 1 and 2 meter increments. Lastly, if you're at a deep water site and you have a measurement of, say, 4.5 meters, your bottom measurement is going to be at 3.5 meters deep, but you're also going to take a measurement at 4 meters deep. And this seems a little bit odd because the bottom measurement is not as deep as the 4 meter deep measurement, but we want to make sure that we're taking measurements at those 1 meter increments, as long as we know the probe is not going to hit the bottom, and the probe is still going to be 1/2 meter above the bottom, so we don't have an issue there. We hope this explains how to calculate your depth profile measurements and your water sample measurements. But as always, if anything is unclear, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Nanticoke Watershed Alliance staff. Thanks.
Happy creek watching!